sunny river flows. Down south, that's where all the cotton grows. All of the mammies they call divine come from below that old Dixon line. But let me tell you about that dear old mammy of mine. I've got a mammy, but she don't come from Alabama. Her heart is filled with love and real sentiment. Her cabin door is in a Bronx tenement. Believe me, my mammy never heard about dear old Black Joe. She's never been down where the sweet magnolias grow. She don't play a banjo or ukulele, but her lullaby is Ailey, Ailey. That's why I love my Yiddish mammy.
Hello again, this is Marc Leavey with the fourth in a series of videos on great Jewish women entertainers. These videos grew from the third session in my course on great Jewish entertainers at the Meyerberg Senior Center here in Baltimore, which course was interrupted by the great coronavirus pandemic of 2020, also known as COVID-19. I'd like to start out this talk with a little video clip that you may recognize. Her of Miriam Midge Maisel, so wonderfully portrayed by Rachel Brosnahan in the Amazon Prime series The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, was inspired by the woman I am about to discuss. She was born in Brooklyn in 1933 to Russian Jewish immigrant parents Beatrice and Meyer Malinsky, who named her Joan Alexandra Malinsky. She did well in school and also had a flair for theater, performing in school productions. In 1955, she graduated from Barnard College with a B.A. summa cum laude in English literature and anthropology, and being a member of Phi Beta Kappa. But with all of that education, she gravitated to the stage. She had an agent by the name of Tony Rivers, who advised her to change her name. Joan Rivers was the name she chose. In the early 1960s, she started playing comedy clubs in the Greenwich Village area, including the Bitter End, the Gaslight Cafe, and the Duplex, along with fellow entertainers Woody Allen, George Carlin, Bob Dylan, Barbra Streisand, and others. In 1965, she appeared with Johnny Carson in her breakthrough appearance on his new version of The Tonight Show. Here's a clip of her and Carson from 1966.
Hi, I haven't seen you since New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy. Was it happy?
Well, it was different. Last year, a lot's happened in a year. Last year I was home alone with no job watching you, on television. And, which is, you were funny, but it's sad. And this year I'm married, and I was out with my husband to a formal party, and we watched you on television.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not really.
All these formal people sitting around watching you.
Well, I'm happy you said
Yeah.
that. Hey, is it too personal if I say how's the marriage going? I mean,
Yeah, thank goodness, okay.
You okay? The problems when you get married. Now, I don't want to say this because I've been married. Mickey could give you some advice. Have you got up enough nerve yet to have people over and entertain without feeling awkward,
Well, we had one person over so far, and, I moved, my husband's name is Edgar, and I moved into Edgar's apartment, which was a mistake. And, because it's a man's apartment, very masculine, a lot of leather and chains, and, bullfight posters, and,
What?
A lot of bullfight posters.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cha-cha. And, the only amount of convenience he had was a dishwasher, and she went, as soon as I came in. And, we'd been married just like 3 weeks, and Edgar said, listen, I'm starting to get hungry. Why don't you make me something to eat? And why don't we have a friend over? So he invites his ex-girlfriend, which upset me, because this girl's name is Sherry.
You used to go with her?
Yeah, 3 years. They had a 3-year relationship, starting last year. And she shows up, and she's a poor loser, And she said that Edgar's told her a lot about me, and she gives me a cookbook. And then she gives me a marriage manual, Fear Without Love. And Edgar is... That's hard to believe.
Yes, it is. I'll go along with it. If you say so.
I read it.
All right.
And Edgar's treat, like when you're going with someone, how polite they are. Like when we first started dating, Edgar would run around and open the car door for me. And then we got engaged and, we each opened our own door. And now that we're married, Edgar runs, makes me run around and open his door. And you feel like a fool because we don't have a car.
Within the next 5 years, she developed a character that we all remember and became a frequent guest on many television programs. A little more experienced and self-confident, here she is in 1970 with an appearance on The Carol Burnett Show.
Doesn't matter when you're beautiful, which is why I am educated. My father is a doctor, and do you know how my father slaved? Do you know, to send a daughter through college, do you know how hard it is for a doctor to raise that money? Huh? You do. Do you know how many illegal operations my father had to perform? Do you think it's easy to convince a 92-year-old man he needs his tonsils put back in? Do you know what my father went through? And now I have to tell my father I was educated in vain. What good does education do you? You're a woman. Does it do you any good? Now that you're married, what good? I'm a philosophy major. What good does philosophy do me now? I can go to the butcher, prove the meat doesn't exist. What good? What good? What good? Calculus. Calculus. I was educated. I can figure out the length of a room. You don't need calculus when you figure out the length of a room once you're married. You know how you figure it out? It's always 7 inches longer than your vacuum cleaner cord. That's how you figure out the length of a room. Physics. Remember that lot? An object in motion tends to remain in motion. Remember that? An object in motion tends to remain in motion. A lie! Once you're married, an object in motion gets back in the bed when the object goes to the office. That's where I spend my day. I'm educated. Why should I kill myself? Why should I cook? Do you ever stop and say to yourself, why me? Some days I'm lying in bed, I say, why me, Lord? The Lord wanted me to cook, he would have given me aluminum hands. Why me? These hands were meant to hold charge cards. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. Why should I cook? Why should I clean? Housework is futile. You make the bed, you do the dishes. 6 months later, you have to start all over again. It's true. My house is clean enough, believe me. Once a month, I get out of bed. I dust. Guests are coming, I put out a drop cloth, I say I'm painting. That's it. When it's really filthy, I call up his mother. Show me once more how he likes it. That's all. Never thought about that one, huh? And you have kids because the kids can clean if you're smart. If they can crawl, they can dust. It's all your attitude. You tie the diaper to the legs and you throw the cookie across the room. Go get it, stupid. My kid almost didn't do. My kid was giving me trouble. She's 2 years old now and doing very well, thank goodness. But she was a year old, never opened her mouth. Do you know what that does to a mother? And I was scared. I went to the doctor. I said, the kid isn't talking. He said, hold back something she wants desperately, like food. The kid was down to 4 pounds. Finally, she spoke. She said, call me a cop.
Over the ensuing 30 years, Joan Rivers' career exploded into multiple facets of the entertainment industry. She appeared on television, had a flash on Broadway, narrated a children's show, and became a screenwriter and columnist. Her stand-up shows became further perfected, with a raw and honest edge that appealed to a wide variety of audiences. Here's a sample of the type of comedy she developed.
But it's hard to be a woman, much harder than a man. God is a man. The whole world runs for men still. Even going to the bathroom, it's men. Men stand up half the time. You know how lucky that is? And still they miss. Explain this to me. How can a man in a fully lit room with a hole this big around and a pointer, how can you miss? It looks like the Pope blessed the toilet seat when the men leave. See, if it was a woman, I would understand, because we'd be going, oh, I'd redecorate. Oh, I'd put a little picture group over there. But you know, the way a man hits a toilet is the way a man makes love. Think about it. If a man in a room fully lit cannot hit a hole this big around. Oh, God. And men just do better in the end. Oh, that women were always... Thank God the older women now are getting things. Thank God, thank God, thank God. Oh, we're all doing commercials. I lost out on, Depends, what do you call those, adult diapers, to June Allison. That made me sad. June Allison, if you watch any of the old movies, she was one of the great movie stars in the 1940s. All the men wanted to come home from World War II to June Allison. She was like the cutesy pie girl. And now she's doing adult diapers? Doesn't this break your heart? Hi, I'm June Allison. While I'm talking to you, I'm taking a dump. That doesn't bother you? And then I found out she made $115,000. I called up, I said, I'll do it for half, and I'll give you sound effects. Yes. Hi. I'm Joan Rivers. On those days of too much wine and cheese. They got rid of me. But now, now I'm doing, what do you call I just got, and I'll be coming over here too, Preparation H. Oh, it's a great commercial. I stand there and I go, hi, I'm Joan Rivers. I used to have hemorrhoids the size of golf balls. I had to put sunblock on them, but now, thanks to Preparation H, clean as a whistle. Come, look, here, close up, close up. And look, I can sit without any pain. The only tragedy is I'm blind as a bat, and I get sometimes my toothpaste confused with my Preparation H because I haven't, when you're in a rush. This morning I was in a rush because I was going to the cremation, right? And so I brushed my teeth with Preparation H. Oh, God. It's horrible. My mouth is all sticky. But my ass is minty fresh.
Rivers was on the Johnny Carson Tonight Show so often that she became the first permanent guest host of the program and a close friend of Johnny Carson. But in 1986, the Fox network announced that it was giving her a late-night talk show set to compete with Carson. She was banned from appearing on the Tonight Show, a ban maintained by Carson's two successors, Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien. Rivers' late show ended in tragedy, with her husband, Edgar Rosenberg, being fired as producer and Joan being fired as well. Despondent, he committed suicide 3 months later. She continued to perform and continues to reach into herself and her history for material.
This, I swear to God, is the truth. I went out with a man a week and a half ago, and it was in the New York papers, and while we were having dinner, he died. Honest to God, died! Do you understand what I'm telling you, Canada? He died! Oh, and I had to go in his pocket to get the American Express card. It was... I shouldn't announce it here, and I'm very upset. As a Jew, we have a shitty time at Christmas. Because the whole world is gorgeous and green and red, and we're standing there going boo-hoo, and it's supposed to be equal. It is not equal, Canada. It is not equal. So I figured, I'm 74 years old. Screw it, I'm going to have a Christmas tree. I had a Christmas tree 2 stories high. They did it on Martha Stewart show. Gorgeous. I did every damn thing you could think. It was gorgeous. It was decorated. It was beautiful. It was fabulous. Everything. I got the whole scene at the bottom. I got the mother, I got the father, I got the 3 wise men, I got the kid. I'm Jewish. I got the kid and nanny. It was. And honest to God, I redressed Mary. She was in this blue schmata. I said, no. I put her in a Chanel suit, an Hermes bag, Manolo Blahnik pumps. You're the mother of God. Look it. Am I wrong?
Seriously, Joan Rivers' life was so full and so complicated that one could fill an entire course dissecting and analyzing it. She died tragically due to complications of throat surgery. But we can't leave without giving Joan the last word. Here is a classic clip with her discussing a recent problem flying.
How are you?
How am I? How am I?
You got on the plane here, or did you have to take the Greyhound? What happened to you?
It was a nightmare. And Continental, who tried to make it up, today sent me, which was very sweet, a one-way ticket to Haiti. And I said
That's nice. All right, so they're trying at
they're
least.
trying. My real name is Rosenberg.
Right.
Don't tell Mel Gibson. So anyhow, pick a finger. So anyhow, and I have an AKA passport, which means Rivers Rosenberg, and they just didn't get it. And they thought I was, if I'm going to take a fake name, I'll pick Michelle Obama. You know, pick a name that's going to, Mrs. George Clooney. I mean, pick a name that's going to help you.
Right.
So they wouldn't let me on the plane. Wouldn't let me on the plane.
They recognize you and say,
It's Costa Rica.
Oh, okay.
I don't cha-cha, so they don't know me. It was I'm Jewish. How many terrorists, I kept saying to them, order ahead a kosher meal? I mean, let's figure this out. I don't mean to turn my back on you.
Only the most diabolical
The
terrorists. would
clever
order it.
ones.
So what happened? You don't get on the plane?
I was
Are you
scared.
alone?
I was totally alone. My daughter had left an hour ahead. I had no money because I had given her like tip money because a mother always, do you have enough cash?
Yeah.
I was alone, and they wanted to do a cavity search. I was so excited. And then, and the guy that did it has called me twice, so that's good. That's good.
Some good has come out of
You
it.
keep thinking, how much do you tip for this? But it was a nightmare.
It was bad.
Horrible.
Did you have to stay over there then?
I had to stay over. I mean, the whole thing, truly, I mean, looking back now, and it's been a week, and it's funny now, because I'm home, God bless America.
Right.
But, I mean, they put me up in a hotel, and, I mean, just, a prostitute on her way out said, lousy clientele. I mean, it's like,
It's a bad place, huh?
instead of, let's go through the jokes, right? Instead of a mint, there was a fly swatter on the pillow. I mean, they were like jokes. That
was
you
bad.
go, it was so, it was a nightmare.
Well, you must have been a scary.
Down south, that's the home of melody. Down south, that's the land of bumblebees. All of the mammies I've heard it said, in that old Southland they're born and bred. But down in Dixie, my mammy ne'er rested her head. I've got a mammy, but she don't come from Alabama. Her heart is filled with love and real sentiment. Her cabin door is in a Bronx tenement. Believe me, my mammy never heard about dear old Black Joe. She's never been down west, the sweet magnolias grow. Although she was born across the big ocean, to this land she gives her real devotion. That's why I love my Yiddish